Hi, very good morning to all of you. Today we are going to discuss a question which was asked on 8th of June 2022. It goes like this: prison is the most common way most countries try to solve the problem of crime. However, a more effective solution is to provide the public a better education. To what extent do you agree or disagree? So let us go ahead with the uh, question in detail. So in most countries, we need to understand the question like this. In most countries, they use prison as the most common measure to solve the problem of crime. But you know that it's, however, believed by some that more of a solution is there, and that is to give the public awareness about the crime and the proceedings. And this is what their suggestion is. This is what their belief is. Do you align with this view or do you disapprove this thing? So the opinion is your personal choice. You can go ahead with whatever. You can go ahead with agree or disagree at the same time. Now, when you agree, then you have to say supporting paragraphs to agree. If you disagree, you have to say supporting paragraphs to disagree. So here in this essay, we have disagreed to this particular question. So let's go with the introduction. What we can see in the introduction is, it is often suggested that a better education about the legislation is more effective instead of confinement, which is a common punity measure in most countries. So let us discuss these two sentences. In the introduction, we can see the presentation is very simple and brief. We have just two sentences and the thesis is written in just 10 words. So what exactly is the first sentence and how is it separated, and what is the separation, what is the need of the separation from the first sentence and second sentence? The first sentence starts like this: it's often suggested that. Because it's a suggestion, we understood that this particular thing is a suggestion. We can understand that thing is a suggestion. So that's why we started, it is often suggested that, it is often recommended that, it is often said that. I can start with any of these phrases. It is often recommended, it is often said, it is often suggested that, it is. So I use the word it to generalize, to open the introduction, to open the essay. And I have used this particular phrase to separate my opinion with their opinion. Where is my opinion? It's in the second sentence. My opinion is I believe. I believe. I think. In my perspective, in my viewpoint, I tend to agree, I tend to disagree. And this is the style of presenting your opinion in the introduction part. So you have the complete right of using the personal pronoun I in the introduction. If it is an opinion question and if the question is asked directly to you, you can use the word I and we. Usually we don't recommend I and we in the essays, but you can use I and we in the introduction because the question is asked directly to you. because it's a personal question where you should not use the personal pronouns. It's not recommended in the body paragraphs because the writer cannot be dragged into the scene. So you are stating that, so you have to do that. So we can use I and we in the introduction, not in the body paragraphs. Now let's go ahead. So we have two sentences in the introduction. We have said the topic. The topic is the first, this is the part here, the topic. So we combined these two sentences and we have written these two sentences in the introduction. And this is what we have seen there. Now, I believe this is not true. It means I disagree. So I have used the cohesive device. The why I disagree. The first reason why I post my disagreement. So it's connected with the introduction part. The first reason why I pose my disagreement is because of the fact that awareness cannot be considered as a real punitive measure. This is point number one. This is the point number one. So in each paragraph, you might use one or two points to substantiate your viewpoint. Here, my viewpoint is I disagree to this statement. Why I disagree, you have to explain after stating the point. I have now already stated the point. So what I have to do is that I have to continue with my own explanation. Let's go ahead with that. To be precise, most frequent reoffenders know law points better than a law student. It means awareness is not a problem there. Awareness is not at all a problem there because most law students, most of the criminals, most of the reoffenders, they know better than a law student. This means they are not only becoming more specialized in their respective areas of crime, but also are finding more tactical ways to evade punishments. Okay, so when they know more about the crimes, they are finding more tactical ways to evade punishment. They are learning new methods to do crime and crime related things. So they are well expert in this area. Awareness cannot be seen as a punitive measure, as a real punitive measure. This situation can be tackled only with long-term imprisonment, only when long-term imprisonment is awarded to them. Only when the long-term imprisonment is awarded to them, this situation can be tackled. So this is what we have seen in the first particular paragraph. So what we have seen here is as the first reason, awareness cannot be considered as a real punitive measure. So let us discuss the second paragraph. The connection is already there. The first reason, the second reason. The first reason is it cannot be considered as a real punitive measure. The second reason why I tend to disagree to the suggestion is because of the effectiveness of prison in secluding antisocial elements from the society's mainstream. This is the thing. This is the second reason. The second reason why I tend to disagree to the suggestion. Okay, so The first reason is that it cannot be considered as a real punitive measure, and I have explained it because most of the criminals know the law and the proceedings well than a law student. The second reason is that prisons are proven its effectiveness. Now, to be clearer, when habitual criminals are kept confined, the society feels secure and the people can live confidently. So if the antisocial elements are kept away, people can live safe, a safe and secure life with full confidence. Prisons have already proven the best solution against crime, such as drug peddling, child abuse, molestation, and burglary. So we have examples of the crimes. Those who do these things can be kept confined so that the society can feel safe. In short, it keeps society safe, at least for a specific period of time, which cannot be always done by public awareness. Now we have the opposite view there. I have to admit, this is the however paragraph. So first two paragraphs are dedicated to disagree, and this paragraph is dedicated to agree. I agree that in some situations, punitive say awareness can be can act better than confinement or prisons. Admit that lack of awareness about new rules and regulations act as a reason for some crimes. To explain it further, certain amendments in the traffic law, certain new laws, and the civic laws may not have reached every individual. In this case, education regarding the respective system works better than confining people. So this is the thing here. So it's better than confining people. In what cases? In cases of petty traffic crimes, in cases of petty civic crimes. So we have certain civic laws and traffic laws which may not be aware by everyone who takes the road or be in public. So we have to make aware them. It is quite natural. We need to give education to them. We need to make aware of the new rules and regulations which are practiced. So that is better than taking them to prisons. In these cases, in what cases? Prisons are best in molestation, burglary, child abuse, drug peddling. So murder, rape, all these things you have to keep people inside. To conclude, though there are some cases in which public education is more effective than imprisonment, it cannot be said that it's always a better solution to tackle the issue of crime. So it cannot be said as a better solution to tackle the issue of crime. It's not always. In some cases it is, but it's not in all the cases. And that is the end of the explanation. Have a nice day.